So how much enriched uranium do you need for a bomb? And how close is Iran to getting it? Well, let me show you. Brought a diagram for you. Here's a diagram. This is a bomb. This is a fuse. In the case of Iran's nuclear plans to build a bomb, this bomb has to be filled with enough enriched uranium. And Iran has to go through 3 stages. Where's Iran? Iran's completed the first stage. Now they're well into the second stage. And by next spring, at most, by next summer, at current enrichment rates, they will have finished the medium enrichment and move on to the final stage. From there, it's only a few months, possibly a few weeks, before they get enough enriched uranium for the first bomb. If these are the facts, and they are, where should a red line be drawn? A red line should be drawn right here. Before Iran completes the second stage of nuclear enrichment necessary to make a bomb.
Analyst Lisa Daftari. She's an award-winning journalist and Fox News contributor, and with us this afternoon from Los Angeles. Lisa, nice to see you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Your thoughts on the words of the Prime Minister?
Well, the Prime Minister feels as though he's on the same page with the rest of the world, with the West, with the United States. But he has, other issues on his mind. There's an urgency that the Israelis feel that the rest of the world doesn't. They're at an arm's length distance from the Iranian regime that has a nuclear agenda. The Iranian regime has not been shy in communicating that it wants to take Israel off the map. And the Prime Minister of Israel came to the UN feeling as though this might be his last chance in convincing the world that the Iranian regime is the biggest global threat that we have currently. And that's why his speech had almost a history lesson theme to it, talking about what extremist Islamists believe in, that they would blow themselves up, that they do believe in an afterlife that's more important than their current life. And that's what he came to do, kind of impart this urgency on the rest of the world as well.
Is it fair to say that what we may have here, though we don't really have any way of knowing what happens behind the scenes, but that what we may be seeing here is just a difference in opinion on how to handle this matter, not a difference on the severity thereof?
That's a great way to put it. Almost, we want to say the U.S. and Israel is on the same page, and they've taken different courses of action to stop the Islamic regime from having nuclear weapons. I think that's the bottom line.
Different courses of action, or they have different opinions on what the course of action should be?
I think both. I think the Israelis are basically saying to the U.S., thank you for the sanctions, for example, but they're not working. It is crippling the Iranian economy, but has it stopped them from getting the nuclear weapons, which we both agree on that's the ultimate goal here? No, it hasn't stopped them. The U.S. has wanted to bring them to the negotiating table. Has that happened? No, that hasn't happened either. So the Israelis are almost feeling as though both the mentality and the course of actions that the U.S. has taken and the West in general has been a bit naive.
Of course, factoring into all of this is the fact that so many of the analysts, those with great experience and knowledge of the situation here, are of the belief that you can't stop this by bombing and the like. It's going to take something else.
Right. And that's, if you want to take a look at that exact point, why don't you look at the people of Iran and what they're saying? I mean, right before Ahmadinejad got on a plane to come to the UN meetings, the people of Iran, and I read on so many blogs and so many messages on Twitter and on Facebook, where are you going? We have so many problems here at home that you need to address. You don't need to be going to the UN and talking about world problems and how to reform, the global community, as he's been repeating on interviews and at the podium. At the UN. I mean, there's so much that we can focus in on here, talking about the economy back home in Iran and what he's doing both in the region and globally as well.
Yep, Lisa Daftari, no question, internally they have many struggles. Lisa, thank you. Nice to see you again.
Do you believe that Israel is genuinely planning to do some kind of preemptive strike based on the rhetoric we're now hearing? And if they do, what should the reaction be, particularly of America, but also other allied countries?
Well, is Israel absolutely determined that Iran should not acquire nuclear weapons capability? Yes. I mean, how they prevent that is another matter. But, I mean, it is clear that Iran continues to work towards getting that capability. And for Israel, I mean, the president of Iran just a few days back was questioning Israel's right to exist. So you can understand why they feel this is an existential question for them. Now, I still think it's possible that a combination of sanctions and negotiations can resolve this, but you've got to say that time is marching on, and so is their nuclear weapons program, and Israel will feel obviously alarmed and threatened by it.
If they do something, should America do anything, or does America keep out of this?
We're not at that point yet. The United States of America, by the way, has also given an absolutely clear and firm statement on this, that Iran with a nuclear weapon is unacceptable. And by the way, I'm quite sure President Obama, when he says that, he means it and intends to stand by it. So I think America is also giving a very strong message to Iran, but everybody wants to resolve this without a conflict, because that is sensible and the best way of doing it, because the consequences of any conflict would be very serious, although profoundly unpredictable.